It has been a momentous time in the Brexit debate, and this week the politics of it became more tricky as Sterling's slide showed just how much is at stake. Theresa May's government has argued that it alone has the right to trigger the Article 50 divorce talks and decide what kind of deal to strike, but both Parliament and the courts have asserted their influence on the process. Labour has woken up to its role as the UK's opposition party and forced the government into having a debate on Article 50 this Wednesday. Keir Starmer, the new shadow Brexit secretary, looks to be a formidable scrutiniser of the Brexit process, but crucially, Parliament's vote this time will not be binding. A legal challenge in the High Court has also been launched, with Gina Miller, a fund manager, taking on the government's decision not to have Parliament stamp approval on leaving the EU. For most, this is not about stopping Brexit, it is about ensuring the process is done properly. But the government is still scrambling to avoid a vote in Parliament, as it may come down to whether it will have to pursue a hard or soft Brexit. Many in Downing Street worried that MPs would back a softer break, which risks disgrunting millions of Brexit voters. Sterling continued to tumble as uncertainty grows over Brexit. On June 23rd, the day of the referendum, it was $1.49 to the pound. This week it was down to $1.24. It has even hit its lowest ever level on a trade weight basis because of these increasing fears that Britain will make a hard break from Brussels. While the economy has continued to bump along nicely, this has begun to impact the pound in people's pockets. The supermarket giant Tesco entered into a dispute with Unilever this week, meaning that products such as Marmite and PG Tips are not available on shelves thanks to a dispute over pricing. If food prices begin to rise, buyers' remorse over the referendum may also grow quickly. Attitudes appear to be hardening on both sides of the channel about whether the UK will make a clean break from the EU. Theresa May's Conservative conference speech made it quite clear that she wants Britain to take back control of its borders and leave the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice. That signals a hard Brexit, and as a result, both sides are looking increasingly antagonistic. There may even be a huge bill to pay. The FT reported this week that when Britain does leave, there may be a €20 billion or possibly more cheque to pay when we leave as a result of unfunded spending commitments. Thankfully, Boris Johnson, the Foreign Secretary, was still around to keep things cheerful and continue to predict that Britain is going to get a fantastic trade deal. We will see if this Panglossian prediction ever becomes reality.
Well, my view is that we've got to accept the result of the British people, which was to leave the European Union. That being said, I think it's really important that me as the Mayor of London